What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another Game of Thrones Season 8 death prediction video. I know a lot of you have been asking me to make this video, so I figured I would give some of my early predictions about which characters I think will die in the final season before any real spoilers or photos come out. Let me know which characters you think will die down in the comment section and we can see who gets the most right after Season 8 ends. This video will only be part 1 of my list of characters that I think will die, and I will release a part 2 video with more characters as soon as possible. Just a quick reminder to those of you that don't know, I am doing a new giveaway, and since some of you didn't watch my last video, I'm going to tell you about it real quick. I'm giving away 3 prizes to 3 different winners. The link to enter the giveaway will be in the description of this video. If you click that link, you will find out how to enter and what you can actually win. If you decide to participate, keep your eyes open for any new video I post because I'm going to start announcing a different winner in a different video within the next 30 days. Alright, now let's get started with the predictions. My first prediction is Sir Jaime fucking Lannister. And I know plenty of people who hate this character, but I have to be honest with you, Jaime Lannister has grown on me ever since Season 3. This was a man I hated with a passion during Season 1 and 2, but I have grown to love this character, although he still has some issues with him. The reason why I say this is because I do not want Jaime to die. I would like to see him live some sort of normal life after it's all said and done, but I just don't see this character surviving the Great War. He has pretty much lost all of his ability to defend himself. In fact, he should have died a few times already, but he has been lucky enough to stick around. Ever since he lost his hand, he has lost his legendary sword fighting skills, and now he is heading north, in a place where not too many people like him. I do think Jaime will be accepted into Winterfell and they will allow him to fight with them, but I don't see anyone other than maybe Brienne being willing to stick their neck out to save Jaime if he gets into some trouble on the battlefield. I'm not necessarily saying anybody's going to let him die because they're going to need his help no matter what. But let's just say I don't see anybody willing to take a bullet for him other than Brienne. The Night King and his army are making their way south, and before you know it, the north is going to be completely under attack, and everyone in Jon and Dany's camp will eventually be surrounded by whites and White Walkers. In my opinion, I don't see Jaime making it out of this alive. He may still find an opportunity to kill Cersei, but I think Jaime will die in the Great War, and he will die in the arms of the woman he loves, just like he said he wanted. But the woman that he loves is not going to be Cersei, which is who he meant at the time when he said that, but he will actually die in the arms of Brienne. That's how I think Jaime's story is going to end. But, and this is a big but, I think Jaime will die by actually sacrificing himself for one of the Starks, possibly Bran Stark. But if it's not a Stark whose life he saves, then I think it could be Brienne's. I see Jaime dying in one of the most honorable ways possible, which is sacrificing himself so others can live. I don't think this is something someone could really imagine Jaime doing back when he was a cocky, handsome man of the King's Guard. But since this story began with Jaime pushing Bran out of the window, I think his story will end by saving one of the Starks. Also, after Jaime dies, I believe Brienne or someone else will make sure Jaime's pages in the White Book get filled with some of the deeds that he has done and will do in the future.
So Jaime Lannister. Someone forgot to write down all your great deeds.
There's still time.
Is there? For a 40-year-old knight with one hand? How can you protect me with that?
I use my left hand now, Your Grace. Makes for more of a contest.
After the Great War is over, someone will make sure that it is written in the history books that Jaime didn't murder the Mad King for no reason, but he did it to save the city. And they will make sure that it is known that he sacrificed himself during the Long Night. The next character that I believe will die is Grey Worm. I actually thought Grey Worm would die in Season 7 because they kept hyping up his relationship with Missandei in all the promos and trailers, so I assumed they would kill one of these characters once they got everybody invested in their relationship. But of course, both of these characters were pretty much put on the sidelines midway through the season. I also think Grey Worm will die in the north fighting the army of the dead. Grey Worm has always felt sort of like an expendable character to me, but even more so in the last season. Grey Worm has never fought in the north before. He has never fought in the freezing temperatures with the ground covered in snow. And I don't think the Unsullied or Dothraki are going to fare very well in the northern terrain. I do think Missandei will survive the entire series, but I think she's going to do it without Grey Worm. They will probably show these two characters connect one more time right before he goes into battle, and then they will tear another relationship apart by killing one of them, and I think that person will be Grey Worm. I also think the entire Night's Watch will cease to exist too. And I made a video specifically about this before, but I will briefly go over my thoughts on this again. Basically, we're going to lose at least half of the remaining characters that are left in this series, and some of the first people to go will be the type of characters that will no longer be needed in the final episode, or I should say during the rebuilding phase, the Dream of Spring phase. I think the Night King and his minions will be stopped for good this time. They will be completely defeated, and they're not going to go to sleep under the ice again for thousands of years. They will be extinct, which means there will no longer be a need for the Night's Watch. The men of the Night's Watch were meant to protect the realm from everything that lies beyond the Wall, but after the Great War is over, there will be nothing left to protect everyone from north of the Wall. The wildlings and other tribes are already either south of the Wall or dead, and once the Night King and his army are dead, then there will be nothing north of the Wall that anyone will really have to worry about anymore. They technically wouldn't even need to rebuild the Wall, because I don't think the others are going to be pushed back up north this time. Like I said, I think they're going to be gone for good. The Wall and the Night's Watch will no longer serve its purpose, and from now on they will have to throw their criminals in a jail cell. No more running to the Wall and joining the Black. I think this will also be a part of the new Westeros too. Things are not going to be done exactly the same as they were before, and getting rid of the Night's Watch will be one of those things. No more barriers keeping people out of the Seven Kingdoms. Jon Snow has already made sure of that, and I think this will continue after the Great War. Next on my list is another one of my favorite role players, good old Barrack Dondarrion. And let's be honest here, Barrack has been living on borrowed time for multiple seasons now. This man should have died 6 times already. In fact, he's already dead in the books, dead for good too. He sacrificed himself to bring Lady Catelyn back to life as Lady Stoneheart, and obviously they never did this in his show, but Barrack will die at some point, and I just hope they let him go out in style. Hopefully they will allow him to use his ability from the books and give someone the last kiss. Don't just kill Barrack off like he's some run-of-the-mill character, give it some finesse. If it were up to me, I would have him die by giving the last kiss to another major character. I think that would be a cool way to send him off, and it could be another nod to the books. But once again, this is just my opinion. That is something I would like to see happen if they decide to bring him back into the story again, and then ultimately end his story. Speaking of Barrack Dondarrion, the next character on my list is Tormund Giantsbane. And it actually hurts me to say this because Tormund is in my top 5 favorite characters of all time. I've loved this character ever since he was introduced, even when he was technically the bad guy. I would hate to see Tormund die, and they damn near broke my heart in the finale when the Wall came crashing down at Eastwatch. It didn't look good for Barrack and Tormund, but I'm hoping they can avoid being killed as the dead march through the Wall. I need to see Tormund in the Great War kicking some ass, but I'm afraid he's going to die in the end. Even the showrunners Dane and Dave said either Tormund or Brienne will die. And obviously they could be trying to mislead people, but basically what happened was somebody asked them about Tormund and Brienne hooking up, and they said one of them must die in the end. They will not live happily ever after together, and I think if one of them is to die, then it would be Tormund. Brienne is arguably one of the best fighters left on the show, and she definitely knows how to defend herself. And she has a Valyrian steel sword, so she could defend herself against the White Walkers as well. I think Brienne will survive the entire series, but she will lose both of the men that are in her life, because Jaime and Tormund will die. Tormund was lucky enough to survive the mission beyond the Wall, and he was lucky to survive the Wall coming down, but I think the third time will be the charm. 3 strikes and Tormund is out. The next character that I think will die is Sir Gregor Clegane, the motherfunking mountain. I have no way to put this philosophically or poetically. This asshole just needs to die. I don't care if he dies during Clegane Bowl or if he slips on a banana peel. Someone must take this man down. There is no way they can let him survive this entire series. This freak show has been wreaking havoc since the first season, and in my opinion, he will see his judgment day in the final season.
Remember me? Yeah, you do. You're even fucking uglier than I am now. What do they do to you? Doesn't matter. It's not how it ends for you, brother. You know who's coming for you. You've always known.
You can't have the Hound deliver a bone-chilling line like that to the Mountain and not give us some kind of a payoff. He must pay for what he did to another one of my favorite characters, Oberyn Martell. I am still keeping my fingers crossed for Clegane Bowl, but if I had a second choice, it would be Arya Stark. She still has him on her list, and she hates the Mountain, and I would love to see her take this big man down if the Hound can't do it on his own. Let me add one more character to this list for the part 1 video, then I will get out of here. And since I am already talking about the Mountain who is in King's Landing, let me just slide right on over to Cersei fucking Lannister, the Wicked Witch of Westeros. I think I can speak for 90% of the fan base when I say we can't wait to see this evil, twisted, brother-loving bitch drop dead. Cersei's time is up. She must die. And once again, I really don't care who does the deed. But if they want to make it extremely satisfying, then she needs to be killed by Jaime, or Tyrion, or dare I even say Sansa. Now I know Cersei is on Arya's list, and Arya really wants to kill her, but I think it would be more satisfying if Sansa was able to kill her instead of Arya. Sansa had to put up with Cersei's evilness way more than Arya ever did, and I would be extremely satisfied if Sansa was able to cast her down somehow. But I think Jaime or Arya is actually more likely to deliver the fatal blow. But there is a strong chance that Cersei will live until the very last episode, considering all of her enemies are now in the north, and they are about to be at war in the north. Since the Night King is already south of the wall, Jon and Dany are going to have to focus on him immediately, which allows Cersei to continue living. Unless that is, of course, someone decides to take a quick trip to King's Landing and finish her off. Even if Jon and Dany's forces are completely decimated by the Night King, I still believe they will have enough left over to take care of Cersei and whoever she may have fighting for her in the end. Then someone's going to need to slip behind enemy lines and most likely choke the life from her and end her reign for good. Comment down below and let me know what you think of my list. Do you agree with any of them, or do you disagree and think someone on my list will survive it all? Let me know, because I am anxious to get some feedback on this one. And like I said, this is only part 1. There will be a part 2 to this video soon, and I will list all of the other big remaining characters I have left. Once again, if you're interested in the giveaway I'm doing, the link will be down in the description of this video. Just follow that link. There is 3 prizes and there will be 3 different winners, and I appreciate those of you that have participated already. Thanks for stopping by, everybody, and watching today's video. I appreciate that as always, and I must thank all of my Patreon supporters as well. And a big thanks to all of my new Patreon supporters that I got this week. It truly means a lot to me. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.